Welcome to Farm Vlogs. Today, we're reviving the mower. It's been sitting for about 2 months, I would say. And I think it's time to revive her. Because I have like a track out in the bean field that I want to try it on. Because this thing, with its bald back tires, she likes to drift. And that's kind of what I want to do with it. I want to go out there and drift and stuff with it. So, it's a 2018. It's a snapper. I don't know what size or anything it was. It was this old snapper frame that I tore down. Had a friend help me tear it down and put some of this together, but the lighting's gonna be bad. I'll get a light out here in a second before I explain stuff. But I got a 18 horsepower opposing twin Briggs engine on it with some sketchy wiring and a wired on gas tank and a vice grip holding the clutch return on, and chains that could grab your leg and hurt you. And it's straight piped. So I'm gonna go grab a light and then we'll start tearing this old girl down because the carburetor needs to be cleaned because I tried it last night. In that video you saw before, like in the start there, when I pushed the mower back in, that was filmed today, so don't think that was a long time ago, obviously. So I'm gonna get a light and we'll start working on it. Okay, now that I got the light set up. So this thing took about 4 weeks to build. Most of it was working on like the steering and like the spindle and most of the front end stuff, because it's hard to get everything straight and stuff when you want to, since this thing goes like 40 to 50 mile an hour, you want to get everything right before, so you don't die on the thing. So we'll talk about the hardest thing I had to do first was, so this bar right here, it's just about 27 inches across, I think. And I took 2 pieces of angle iron, welded them together, and then this is a heavy wall pipe here with a 3/4 inch like axle through there, and then another 3/4 inch axle welded on there with a thick washer welded on there. And they're holding on by, here, we'll go to the other side. They're held on by these. The tires are held on by these like bearing locker deals, which I haven't had a problem with yet, but that's probably not the right way to do it. So to make 2 of those, yeah, I didn't measure so well. This one has a little bit more reverse camber than this one does, but it'll be fine. And then, my steering, it comes from the steering wheel. This is from the steering wheel to right up here. That's all stock, what came with this thing. Well, except for this piece of rebar that I had to put in there. And it goes to another 2 pieces of angle iron, which are right here, with 2 holes drilled in it, with a pipe, or like piece of like stock, round stock, with like a little, I don't know, whatever, a weld on there, and like another bracket with like 2 holes for my 2 steering rods to hook to, and then the steering rods have a little bar that's welded to the heavy wall pipe of the spindle. It's got solid motor mounts, so thing kind of shakes around when you really get on it. It's still governed. It's all stock engine. I don't want to do anything to it yet, because if you take the governor out, the flywheels tend to explode and could kill people. So thing's kind of a death trap. And this throttle linkage is overkill, because I had it before where the cable came all the way up and around through that hole right there and came up to that point right there. But that kept like slipping and falling off. So I got this heavy cable right here, came to a little nub that I welded on there with like a little, so when this pedal pushes, it's stiff. When this pedal pushes, it pulls the cable the right way, because in there, which you can't see because it's dark, it has to pull that way. So that's the only way I get it to work like that. And all the wiring is just kind of sitting there however it wants to be. And then I don't really want to flip it up on its butt right now, but from there I made this stop frame was just, all it was is just from the steering wheel to that one point I showed you. That's all was on here. I had to put the rear axle and make everything for that, and the front end and everything, and everything that's on here, like the transmission and stuff. So I had to run the pulleys and the belt with the clutch to the transmission, which is a 5-speed transmission or whatever. It's not a very heavy transmission because I already blew one up on the old racing mower, which I'll go over there and show you if there's enough light. And then I had to run it to 1 inch, like it's a hex steel, and these are the hubs that's welded onto there with. So I drilled holes in there and made a hubs for them. And there's no brakes on this thing, which, like everything else I have, has no brakes. So that's fine. And that's about it about this thing. But the carburetor's probably needs to be cleaned, because I tried it last night. You spray ether into it, it would fire it up, but it wouldn't stay running because it needed... It has gas in it, but I bet the jet's just plugged or something. So I gotta tear into that, and then we'll see if she'll start. So what I just did in the time lapse there is I took this little focus camera, this little like plug off the top of the main jet in there. There's a main jet still in there. I gotta pull that out, but that's probably what's plugged. The way this carburetor works is it pulls through, so the bowl sits here and the jet just forces downward and blows, like not blows, but just kind of lets the gas go through there that way, and it pulls through here. So this is probably plugged in here, because I always have problems with this thing getting plugged for some reason. Well, and don't have a fuel filter, so that's probably a problem. So I'll get that pulled out, and you'll see the rest of it. Okay, I couldn't get it out, but I don't feel like messing with it tonight, so I just blew air into it, and that should clean it out. So I'm going to put the little cap back in here. I'm trying to hold you and do the other stuff in one hand and not block the light. And I got some copyright music in the background, so hopefully I don't get demonetized or something. Okay, that's back on. Okay, I got the air box taken off, and I sprayed a little bit of ether into there. Let's see if I can make sure it's not in gear here, because it's got no safety things on this thing. Just see if she'll want to start. Yes, I checked oil. It's all good. It's got the first bit of ether went in there, so let's give it some more. Just needs to get enough RPMs to suck everything through the carb. Okay, I gave it throttle there and it throttled up, so that's a good sign. Okay, I turned it off there because we don't want to suck too much crap into the intake. Oh boy, she's a running. Trying to do all this with one hand is kind of hard. And no, this thing does not have somebody's name on it. You know who you are. Oh my goodness, so much crap on this thing. Watch it not have to start now, and I have to pull this all back off. And of course, when I get this thing all back together, it's dark outside and I can't see anything. There you go. Go back on now. Okay, let's see if it'll actually start without ether this time. Oh boy! Let it warm up for a little bit. Well, this thing's warming up. I drove that thing through the parade. That was a great time. And haven't had any harvest videos of corn. We're almost done with corn. We got one more field left, but we can't get to it because all the water we have. But I haven't made any videos on it because I'm working and I don't have time to make videos on it. But some recent things that happened. Yes, our combine's amphibious. And this in here is oil out of a gearbox from our grain cart. We had a seal go on the gearbox on the top there, and a bunch of corn got in there and made some nice corn slop stew stuff. So that's all, that gearbox is all in there. Yeah. Now that she's warmed up, still moves? Oh yeah, still moves. First gear, by the way. I don't want to open it up because you're in the other hand, and I only have one hand on this thing because that could be kind of dangerous. Even though I'm pretty redneck, I would still don't want to do that. Yep, I miss this thing. And this winter is going to be fun with it too. But depends how deep the snow gets because it's only got like 3 inches of ground clearance. So, I don't have a name for this thing yet. So, for like the 50 of you guys that actually watch these videos, you should just put in the comments below or something of what you want this thing's name to be. And I'll pick the best one. I would probably like the 2 of them that are going to be there. So, yeah. I'm going to be done for tonight, because I got to edit all this video that I have, like, not very much of it, but it still takes a while. And I'll put this thing away tomorrow when there's actually light outside, because I want to know when the tire's going to fall off so I know when to stop before I die. So, tomorrow I'll rip it out in the bean field or something. But tonight there's just not enough light, and with the camera and stuff deal, light and the camera don't really mix. So, we'll see you tomorrow.